All right. So, Arianna, welcome to the Empty Crypt. I am very excited to have you on. I actually got done yesterday talking with Sherry Davis. So, she told me a lot of great things about you. So,
Really?
just starting off, um, for all the people out there who may not know exactly who you are or what you do, can you give us a little bit of background story on what you do?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Ariana. I am an actor and a model. I've been acting for about 4 years. That is currently what I am focusing on. I have a lot of experience with modeling as well. All my social medias are Arianna Harris official if you want to check it out.
Awesome. So, you said you've been acting for 4 years. So, what made you exactly want to get into acting?
Well, at first, I didn't exactly necessarily have any interest or want to do acting. I was actually invited to go to the studio for modeling, and in this package that my mom signed up for, it had like dance classes, modeling, acting, like pageant speaking classes, like all in one. So going there is kind of how I got my start and got into it.
Nice. Okay. So, I know I was reading a little bit on your IMDb page. So, tell me, what has been your favorite project to work on thus far?
My favorite project so far is probably the Rose Wagon because I got to go to Indiana for 2 weeks and I got to work with some really like fun and special people that I am getting to work with in future projects. I can't say them yet, but I am looking forward to it. And it was just like, it was really fun. I got to get out of school for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
It was in the winter, so it was a little bit cold, but it was really fun.
Nice. Okay. So, can you tell us, exactly how did you get your role in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
So I was auditioning. My mom is kind of like my momager. She looks out for me and does all of that. So she's like, she gave me the script, and I was like, wow, this is like a really cool script. Like this is really emotional and a cool audition. Like I actually really want to do this. So I actually only had like two auditions for it. One it was like it was like a 2 minute long monologue that I had to memorize. It was crazy and it was really emotional and it had a lot of backstory. It was like a monologue from the script. And I did that the first time and then I got asked to do it again, but with more directions.
Hmm.
Because when you're kind of given an audition, you don't really get direction.
Gotcha. So, was this like an in person or was it a self tape?
It was a self tape. That's definitely what people are doing more now that it's after COVID.
For sure. So, I mean, being an actress, right? So, do you prefer self tapes or do you prefer the in person audition that where you have that interaction with people?
I I personally like self tapes just because I feel like when you're filming, it's kind of more like self tapes. You do it several times. Like you
Mhm.
pick the best one. Usually I only do my self tapes like 2 times. I'll see if I like it. If I don't, I'll do it again. But also in-person auditions really stress me out. Like I get so anxious and worked up. I'm like, no, just
So,
give me self tape.
so when you do the in persons, so how do you calm your nerves? Like, so when you go in and you read, a part of a script, like, how do you calm your nerves to where you can deliver a
I,
believable performance?
I kind of don't. I think I just use it to kind of do better in a way or make more of a connection because I really like people. And even though it's nervous, it's kind of like they're analyzing you. At the end of the day, they are people too, and they just want the best for you. So it's not like they're going to be judging you off of everything. They just want the best person for the role.
That's true. Very well said. So, after speaking with Sherry a little bit yesterday, she said, and I quote, that you had the best audition that she's ever seen in her 20 years of being in the industry. So, I mean, that just speaks volumes to what you delivered. So, how do you how do you move people like with your auditions? Like, what do you bring to the table that people just like, you know what, she's the one? Because that's exactly what she said. She saw your audition tape and she was like, yeah, that's her. She's the best.
Yeah, I really spend a lot of time on the script or the scene breaking it down. A lot of the time people don't break down the character. They'll just read the lines and say the lines, but I kind of feel like I spend a lot of time analyzing like why they said what they said, why are they doing what they are doing? Like what is this reaction like caused by? And I feel like I have these really pretty eyes that I can show a lot of emotions in too. So I feel like I suck people in with my eyes a little bit too.
For sure. So, and also just to kind of add on that, I mean, so when you're doing these performances, right? Where do you go in your head? Like, is there places that you try to revisit, or maybe you think of like a family member that may have went through some troubles, and you can kind of pull from that emotion?
Yeah, I do a few things. One of the things I do is I'll put myself in place of the character. I'll just be like, my mom just died. I'm at the grave. Like this, like kind of method acting. Like I would be
Mhm.
really sad right now. Another thing I do is I'll kind of think about like if I'm angry, I'll think about something that made me angry, or if the scene calls for like love, I'll think about my dogs. Like I'll picture my dogs in my head, or just really connect to the motion.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so I mean, it sounds like it takes a lot though, because not everybody can do what you do, being able to just pull from emotion like that and just to do it on the spot. So, with your role in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I know Sherry was saying how it's has some dark elements to it. It's kind of like a thriller in a way. So, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have like some moments where you're gonna have to pull from a negative headspace. So how are you going to prepare in order to pull from emotion like that, those deep emotions?
Yeah, that script is heavy emotion. Like it's a really deep character. Lily is like very traumatized. So basically, I think I'm just gonna prepare myself, like I said before, by putting myself kind of in the headspace, which is gonna be really hard, especially for an extended period of time, just because of how much she has gone through and how much she is currently going through and how much she has to go through. It's gonna be hard for me. Like I'm gonna connect and I'm gonna play her the best I can, but it's not really a way that I can relate to her per se. So I'm just like I think I'm gonna maybe watch the movie, study like mental illnesses, how some people would react to certain situations. Just really try to understand it the best way as I possibly can because I can't necessarily relate to her character.
Okay, I mean, and that's good too. I know, speaking with Sherry, she did say like when she has to do an emotional scene, like she has to pull from a dark place. And so, like, how important is it to you to be able to turn that on and turn it off? Because some actors and actresses sometimes they get stuck in those mental places, you know, and they can't come out of it. So, what's going to be your method to be able to turn it on and turn it off and leave it off?
I am usually pretty good with turning it on and off really fast. Like I'll be laughing and then the scene will call for me crying and they'll say action and I'll be like, "No," and then they'll say cut and I go back to my happy self. I just have to keep on reminding myself that it is a role. It's a character that I'm playing. That is not my life. That is not something that I have to relate to. I do take something away from each of these characters, and each of these experiences are really good for learning, but I cannot be my character because that is not who I am.
Okay. Yeah, that I mean that definitely makes, a lot of sense. So what really attracted you to the script? Like so when you read it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is what I want So like, what was that deciding factor for you?
Well, at first, I was I did not think I was gonna get the main role. I thought I was gonna get one of the friends or supporting roles. I really did not think I was gonna get the lead at all. So I went through the script with my mom, and I've never read through a script that heavy or that beautiful or that well written before. Like, genuinely, I am saying that from the purest place, the most genuine place in my heart. When I read that script, I could not stop reading it. I literally analyzed it for 4 hours straight. It was so good. Yes, me and my mom sat there. I was like, whoa, like my jaw was on the floor. It is so well written. And the characters, like everybody who plays their character is going to be so amazing. They are genuinely such great actors, and I know we're going to work so good together, and it's going to end up being an amazing movie.
For sure. Now, have you guys met in person yet? The cast or anything?
No, we haven't met in person yet. Some of the cast is still being set. There's like an Indiegogo up for it for a Good Girl's Guide to Murder. We are raising funds, and I think we are up to like 35K on the Indiegogo right now. Everybody's like trying really hard, but yeah, the cast and production isn't all set in place yet. I'm sure we'll meet once it is to review the script and just get to know each other and make sure we all act well together. And I'm so excited to meet all of them. I have actually acted with like the person who is gonna play the younger me. We've worked together before, so
Oh, so you have
I
some
yeah, and the person that I thought I was originally gonna play, like, we're friends on Instagram, so it's gonna be really fun. I do know some of them, and they're really good people.
Nice. Now, how important is it to have? Because I know your mom is involved a lot with your social media and stuff like that. So, how important is it to have someone who's supporting you behind the scenes as well? Because I know as a teenage actor, it can probably be a little stressful for you. So, how does your mom help balance that?
She pushes me. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that if like I've done this since I was 11. That's a really long time. I would not have the drive and determination and persistence to keep going if it was not for her. She keeps me motivated. She keeps me strong. She tells me what I need to hear when I need to hear it. And she's just always supporting me. She will run my Instagram. She will try to get me jobs. She will spend hours out of her day when she could be watching shows or taking time to herself, and she will do stuff for me. And I really appreciate having a mom who does all of this and cares so much for me and what makes me happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, having that good support system, I think, is definitely what makes an all-rounded actor or actress. So, like, now your friends who you go to school with or whatever, how are they acting like when you get these roles? They're like, oh my goodness, that's my friend. So, how is that like trying to balance the work and friends and
Yeah, they get really excited for me. Like when I think I posted the audition for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, they were all sending me screenshots. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you were actually terrifying." Or when I was in a Lumify eye drop ad, and like it was on TikTok, and they were all like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you." Like obviously there's gonna be haters and people who are salty and jealous,
yep.
but you gotta ignore them and focus on the people that support you.
For sure. No, well said. Like, so any advice for any other teenage actors or anybody who kind of want to get into acting at a young age? Like, is there any advice that you can give them?
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really hard. You're gonna get like 100 no's before you even get a single yes. Like I really don't think I booked anything for the first like 2 years I was acting for. And That's okay because I'm booking stuff now. I'm getting roles. You just need to keep with it. If you're not booking, get classes. If you can't afford classes or you can't go to classes, watch YouTube videos or get on Facebook. There's lots of people like teaching skills. You don't necessarily have to go to a class. And if it's something that you want to do, you should do your research and not give up because it's not going to be easy. It's really not. But as long as you're dedicated and this is something you really want to do, people are going to see that and you're going to get eventually where you want to go.
Nice, nice. So, and with that as well, I mean, so what's been the hardest thing for you as a teenage actor?
It's like, it's really hard to maintain a good work social life balance for me because I have school 5 days out of the week. I can either miss like days of school where I'm missing out on my education, or I could miss the weekend where I'm missing out on like being social and having a social life. And it's just really hard. It's a really hard thing to balance because I'm still a kid. I still have needs. I still have wants. That's
Yes.
probably been my biggest struggle is finding a balance between them. That has been the thing that has been the most difficult and made me want to quit so many times. And I love acting, I really do, but it's so hard to find a good balance. So what I do right now is I I ask my mom, I tell her days I'm available. She tells me what we have on what days so I can kind of plan my schedule around acting. We have a rule where we can do one acting job on a weekend unless it's really big or like a big 2 week long project or whatever. But if it's just like a photo shoot or a 1 day shoot, it'll be on one day during the weekend. So I'll still get one weekend days and most of my school days to have fun.
Nice. You know, that's beautiful to try to have that work life balance because you are right. It's very important to have those social skills amongst peers, your age. So, like, what's been the proudest moment that you've had thus far in your acting career?
Just like getting roles. Like I just it's not even like a proudest moment. It's just it makes me so happy every single time. It's like I've worked so hard for every single role I audition for and every single role I get, I put my heart and soul and I really put me into the character. So seeing that on the screen, seeing it come to life, seeing how good I did, that is like it's huge. It's like being at the Grammys and getting an award. Like you
Sure.
literally get to see yourself in a theater, see yourself on a big screen, see yourself while you're literally scrolling on like TikTok or Instagram. It's crazy.
So, what's next for you? So, after A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like, where do you see your career taking off? Are you just still just kind of filling it out, or are you trying to land those bigger films?
I'm definitely trying to land those bigger films now. I think A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is definitely going to make me stand out and show people what I can do because it is really emotionally intense. I think at that point, I'll probably start getting noticed more and I'll get more and more jobs, which is ultimately the goal to get these big roles, to get on a major network, to get in a commercial that for like Tesla or Nissan, just being in a really big production has been a goal for probably like a year or two now.
Nice. And I definitely hope you get there. I definitely think you will. Like I said, I know that from what I was told that this is a very emotional film. So, I mean, this is definitely going to showcase your abilities. Is there any other projects you worked on that you think will help add to, your basically your resume that will help you get to those other roles?
Well, yeah, all of the roles are important, no matter like even if it's not emotionally deep. Even the Rose Wagon, it had lots of emotional parts. It had feel good parts. It had sad parts. Every single role shows a different range of emotion and a different skill set and a different character. So ultimately, all of these roles will be good and help you out on a resume. It's just which one's going to be the one where you really take off, you know?
For sure, for sure. Well, here on the Empty Crypt, we do like everything horror here. So, do you have any favorite horror movies? Are you into horror at all?
I personally, I'm really, I get really scared watching horror movies. I don't like watching horror movies at all, but I love acting in them, which is really weird, but I feel like it takes away all the spooky aspects. You get to see the behind the scenes. You don't get the scary movie and suspense. You know every single thing that's going to happen because you read the script and you are doing it over and over and over again.
So, if you could, so what kind of horror movies are you scared of? Are it can't be all of them, but you have to have like that one. You're like, yeah, no, I can't do it.
Oh, it's just like some horror movies are fun. They're not really scary. I can do the bloody gore. I cannot do the jump scares. I cannot do like the pitch black, like creepy walking behind you. I can't do the creepy things. Like uh-uh.
So, I take it you don't really do haunted houses at all either.
Nope. Nope.
No.
During Halloween, there was this haunted house a few years ago. There was someone in there. They jumped out at me. I screamed, ran right out, and skipped right past the haunted house, straight to the doorbell. I was like, "Give me my candy. I've been through enough." Like,
That's hilarious. So, I mean, if a producer did come along and offered you, a role in like this horror flick, would you have to think about it, or would you just go ahead and take it?
I would take it. I really like doing horror, but I just can't like if it was like a reality TV show horror where you actually got put in a horror maze or like a haunted house, I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. But anything that's staged, I can do.
Okay, for sure. Well, hopefully, if a producer actually watches our interview, maybe the doors will open up for you. So, I'm excited to see what's next. So, has your family always been very supportive of your acting career, or like have you thought about doing something else?
Yeah, well, my mom's always been very supportive. She's been the one that pushed it. My brother's also, he got into acting a little bit too, so he's very supportive. He did go off to college and he's living on his own now and he has like a job, so he's not doing it anymore. I have my younger brother, he's just like, do whatever makes you happy. And I'm sure my dad had some doubts about it at first. He's like, are you sure this is probably going to be like a lot of money, a lot of time? But in the end, he does want what makes me happy, and he's supportive as well. And he supports all of these little like day or weekend trips. Me and my mom or my grandma or him will take me on to go acting. So
Nice.
he's came to be supportive.
Nice. That is beautiful. That is nice. So just a few more questions. Like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. But so with you being in school now, have your teachers or seen anything that you're in, or have you had like a kid come up to you like, hey, I saw you in this?
Yes, all of the time. Like just random days at school. I'll be in class and they'll be like, Ariana, come over here. And they'll like pull up my Instagram where they'll be like, I heard you're an actor. I heard you're a model. Or like someone will say it really loud during class, like, oh yeah, Ariana's a model. She's an actor. She's like famous. And like everybody will look at me. I'm like, no, guys, don't do that. And they'll do it too if I'm talking to like literally anyone. If I'm talking to a boy, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, and she's a model." Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Get away.
For sure. Now, have you like, so I know you said earlier like you kind of gotta ignore people who are very negative. So have you had people be negative towards you because you are a model and an actress?
Yeah, sometimes like even in my personal life, I'll get messages like on my personal account, on my modeling account, calling me all sorts of like nasty names. I'll have people message the photographers and be like, "Don't take, don't take photos of this little kid." Like I will, and they'll threaten me, they'll threaten the photographers. It's really
Uh,
scary sometimes. Like it's hard to deal with. Like
wow.
you
So
just you gotta block them and move on because they're probably not real. They don't know where I live.
for sure. So for any fans that are watching this, definitely like I mean, even you being a successful actress, I mean, there's still some of those cyber bullies out there that try to take you off of your A game. But I mean, so how do you ignore them? How do you ignore the hate?
I think my mom definitely does a good job of going through my Instagram first and deleting all of the mean comments, blocking all of the potentially creepy people, calling people out. So I don't see a lot of the nasty things, but like I'll hear about them from my mom complaining. And she gets really mad about it, but I don't really see them. She just tells me about it.
For sure. Well, you definitely got an awesome mom who's definitely willing to protect you. So, with your character Lily in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, do you think your character will be relatable to some of the situations out there that's in the world? Because unfortunately, you know, there is some bad things that happen to people, to younger people. So, do you think your character will be relatable?
Yeah, I think like I've seen court cases kind of similar to this. Like I really like watching court cases and it's crazy. Like I'll see them and I'll be like, wow, this is kind of like the script. This is kind of like the character I'm playing. It's kind of crazy that people actually go through this and it's not just a character they play. This is real life and it's something they go through and it's horrible. Like it's terrifying and no one should have to go through that ever, but people do. And I think this is going to be really good to bring awareness to that and really good like mental health awareness, like to get help that there is resources out there for abuse, for mental health, for anything that people may be struggling with.
For sure. Now, for you, now, does that add an extra element to the movie that you have to like? You kind of thinking like, you know what, my role is going to help people out there. So, does that add any type of emotion to your role?
I feel like it adds pressure to me, I feel like, because I feel the need to make this character perfect. And if she's not perfect, I feel like I'm gonna get not perfect because the character isn't perfect, but I feel that like I have to act her perfect and I can't put any of my own personality into it because she's traumatized and I don't want to get like flamed for portraying something different. So I'm doing a lot of research and I just like I want this to feel realistic and real and something that people can maybe connect to or something that people like can find comfort in maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So yeah, I that's all the questions I had for you today. Now, for people out there who want to still donate or be a part of the film, I heard there was something called Indiegogo that people can still go to help donate to the movie. So can you give us the inside scoop on that? Like, how can we go find the movie?
So if you go on my social medias, which is Arianna Harris official, or if you go to the Good Girls Guide to Murder page, which you can also get through my social medias, you can look it up, or you can just look up a Good Girls Guide to Murder Indiegogo, and it'll pop up. There's lots of really cool like perks that you can get. You can just donate a flat thing, like a flat rate, or there's perks like getting a DVD, getting a signed poster, getting your artwork, getting your music, getting like you could be co-producer, you could be like murdered by me, you could literally be murdered by me. You could have your face in the movie.
So
There's lots of
spoiler alert,
really
you're
cool
gonna
perks. There's also a VIP pass to the premiere, which would be really cool if people get that because I'll get to meet some of like the fans,
wow.
and
Okay,
I
I think
just think
that
that'll
out.
be really fun.
Yeah. Do you know where the VIP premiere would be?
I'm not actually sure yet. I I'm sure it'll be posted as soon as I know. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. It's just not something I know off the top of my head.
For sure, no worries. Well, no, I really enjoyed talking to you. So, for all the fans and stuff that may be watching, can you go ahead and tell us all your social media handles where people can, go click and to find out more about you?
So, like I said before, it's Arianna Harris official. I'll spell it out because my name's a little tricky. AriannaHarris official on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I think that's it. Just on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. My Facebook is private, but if my mom likes you and wants to follow you, she'll approve it. So
For sure. Well, no, I appreciate your time today on the Empty Crypt. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, and then I have some people that want to say hi to you just real briefly.
okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.